Erin, welcome back. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling really good. I'm super excited.
What excites you most about this matchup?
I think it's another great matchup in the top 5, another main event. I'm just excited to show off what I've been working on.
Do you feel like a win here gives you the shot at the title?
I do. I think with a really good performance, I think at this point it matters. It's winning, but also how you win. So I plan on winning in an impressive fashion.
What do you expect from her in terms of like how she's going to come at you?
Maycee's a pretty aggressive fighter. She's very forward pressure, a lot of big hooks. This is her first 5-rounder, so I can see her possibly maybe being a little bit more reserved, but I think that's going to come out of her at some point.
How do you feel like is going to be your keys to success in order to get your hand raised Saturday?
I think it's the same keys, it always is. It's just staying disciplined, fighting your fight, and staying technical.
So Maycee came in here earlier, and she sees you as one-dimensional, and she's looking to finish you. As you said, she's an aggressive fighter. When you hear things like that, and of course, all throughout your career, you're going to hear people be critical, and things like that. For you, do you just kind of brush that off and just zone that out, or do you feel like you put that to the fire and add that to motivation?
Most of the time, I feel like I just brush it off. People, they got to say what they got to say. But I know who I am as a fighter, and I know I'm well-rounded.
You mentioned this is the first time that's a 5-round fight for her. She comes in and she was saying about how she thinks that she's going to get a chance to now show things that she never had to do before. But what are some things that are going to show up in a 5-round fight that she maybe doesn't understand? Is it the fatigue, or, you said that you think she might be reserved, but what else is this going to be for her that she maybe didn't prepare for?
It's like more of an experience thing. You just don't know how you're going to feel until you've actually been in a 5-round fight. And my last 2 fights have went all 5 rounds, so I know how I feel in those last 2 rounds, and I know how I can push in those championship rounds, and that's something she's not prepared for.
Do you envision that she's going to try to take this fight to the ground, or do you think that she wants to stand and bang with you, or do you envision that she's going to have the goal to strictly try to take the fight to the ground because she might think that she's a little bit better on the ground there?
I'm not really sure. I know I'm prepared wherever this fight goes. I don't think she would want to go on the ground with me, but you never know. 5 rounds, a lot could happen. So, yeah, I'm ready for it anywhere.
And is a win enough, or are you hoping to try to get a dominant? I know there's a lot of talk of, whether this fight possibly could be for a number 1 contender position. Is a win enough, or is it? Do you need to have a definitive finish to get that number 1 shot?
Yeah, I think in order to get a title shot next, I'm definitely going to need a finish. Wins are always good, and that's always the goal, but a finish would be good in this one.
Speaking of recently, we saw the Shevchenko versus Manon fight, something that you're familiar with. What were your thoughts on that fight, and what do you think went wrong for Manon that night?
Yeah, I think Valentina looked really good that night. She looked right back to her old self. She kept her distance. She was countering really well. I think Manon was kind of coming in a little bit harder. Usually she's more of a point fighter, uses a lot of movement. But Valentina was almost kind of luring her into her game. And Valentina was just outstriking her. Manon would get some takedowns, but she couldn't really do too much with it. And I felt like Valentina was really dictating that fight.
And if this fight was able to get you that title shot, what do you think would happen between a fight between you and Valentina?
Well, I definitely plan on winning. I would love to take that title off of her. She's been a legend in the sport, and especially in the flyweight division. So that would be my plan.